Back again for another video. On today's topic, we'll be talking about what it means to settle and who settles. How do they settle? What does it look like? Well, I don't think I need to go into any preliminaries about what settling means, but I think we will go just a little bit. Simply, settling is accepting something that is below your standard of which you desire to have, right? Let's just look at it in that context. Some people see it as settling down, meaning that a person isn't actively looking for anyone else and they settle down with one person. But I'm not talking about that description and definition of settling. I'm talking about the one in which where you are making choices, but you make the choice in which that you choose or select a person who does not meet your standards, right? But I was having this conversation with a female not too long ago about settling. It's kind of strange that women think they know everything. I mean, they know a lot. You know, they have good intuition when it comes to certain things. But if they haven't worked on it, then it's not worth anything. But I mean, as far as, you know, things that they know, I think a lot of women are just shooting from the hip. We live in a culture where you fake it till you make it. So they kind of fake the knowledge until they make it. They go off of their emotions because that's their intuition a lot of times. And they stand firmly and strong on it because they're faking it until they make it, right? Which ultimately hits you harder than the truth of just submitting that you don't know what you're talking about. But there's another story. The consequences of that hit you harder, rather, right? But like I said, that's another story. But in regards to settling, you know, I was having this conversation, and you know, the woman, when she was so adamant on believing that a man settles as well. Yes, a man has the ability to settle, but more commonly it's women who settle in the choice of mates. Let me explain. So, when a woman is seeking a man, she is the one who does the choosing. It is in this dynamic that we live in. Sure, there are men who do choosing, and I've talked about that on previous videos, the detriment of that. There are men who do choosing, but largely, most men don't choose. Actual men don't choose. True men do not choose, right? It is the simps, you know, the betas, the manginas, you know, we know the names, the orbiters, right? It's those who do the choosing, and then the women do the selecting from that point on. Right. If you put a woman in, and that's the thing about it, one of you is going to do the choosing and the other is going to do the selecting. OK, if you put a woman in a position to select you, she's not only going to select incorrectly, but you're going to automatically fail because you chose her. But again, that's another topic. I got a lot of topics. That's another topic, but that'll intertwine in this conversation. But nonetheless, women are the only ones who can settle, right? And a lot of people would say, no, yeah, men settle a bunch too. No, not really. They don't really settle, and I'll explain that as well. But how women settle is that they know exactly what they want in a man. You know, they know the qualities that they want in a man. They know this. They say he wants to be this and he wants to be that and wants to be that. You know, the internal qualities, not the superficial. I have another video that I'm going to come out with about the who and the what of people. I don't know if I recorded it already. Let me check my list real quick. Actually, no, I can't even check it. But the who and the what of people, and I think that'll be a very interesting topic to go over as well. I have a few more videos and philosophy that I would like to share with you all, of course. On a side note, I took a little time off because I think it's important to take a little break, you know, especially for yourself. And I do this periodically. You know, my channel goes inactive, but I'm still here. And I'll continue to make content, definitely. Not that I need any money or anything like that, but that this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm given this knowledge for a reason. But anyways, when it comes to the women who select men, they get it wrong, and the men, they lose as well. So both people are out of the character, and they're unbalanced automatically. So it doesn't end well ever. That's the reason why these simp stories and these beta stories don't have a good ending, right? Because they let the women do the selecting and they did the choosing, right? In most cases, not all of them, but most cases. So if the other way, like I said, that a woman loses is that she actually does do the choosing, right? This is the predominantly true of what happens. Women, they choose. See, a woman is meant to discern, right? She's meant to discern her mate. She's meant to scrutinize, because I've said this plenty of times. This is what femininity does. Femininity is passive, but in order to be passive, that means that it has to be porphyritic. Look that word up. It means that it has pores, that things can pass through it. That's what passivity means. But why would something need to pass through something passive? Think about, most passive things are meant to do what? They're meant to screen, right? No different than a filter. A filter is passive. A coffee filter is passive. Even walking through a metal detector is passive. It's meant to screen. It's meant to only accept certain things. For instance, even a kitchen door, it's passive. It's not going to take a whole house through that door. It only takes things that are about 7 feet tall and shorter. That's it. It's passive. It has a level of scrutiny. Anything that has passivity to it is meant to scrutinize, right? If I make a circle with my finger, let's go with those block toys, right? The wooden blocks, the triangle and the square and all that stuff. They're passive. They're passive shapes, right? As far as the inlets, they only accept certain shapes. You can't put the square in the triangle. It's passive though, because the square goes through the square shape hole, right? And the triangle goes through the triangle. It's passive, but it's meant to scrutinize. So if a woman allows a man in her life, meaning that she chooses this man, right? And he comes in and she has a problem with the things that he does, says, and who he is, and all these other things, she is the one who settled. And people would say again, well, why not the men? Well, see, most times when a man actually selects a woman, he selected her for a specific reason or multiple reasons. For instance, let's say, I'm on my purpose and I'm doing things, and I need someone who can, tend to my plants every week or every day. I'm on my purpose and I don't have a lot of time, and I need someone to tend to my plants. It goes a little bit deeper than that, but let's superficially look at this. Because a lot of women get caught up in thinking that it's their looks and their personality and all these things like that. No. A man is objectively looking at you. That's the reason why, a lot of men are considered F-boys, right? It's because they treat women like objects. Well, if you really pay attention, most men treat women like objects. We're not initially romantically connected to. We don't need the qualifier of romance in order to select a woman. But women, they need that. They need that, unless they are looking at men objectively, which happens at times. But most times, if they're sincerely true about their intentions, they need that. And not what do you call it? They don't have bad intentions. If they're actually true in their intentions, they need that. They need that connection. They need that emotional, connection there. They need that. But men, we don't. That's because we're looking at it objectively. We're looking at, what can this woman do for me, and what role will she play in my life? The only way that a man fails in selecting a woman is that in settling for a woman that he selects is that if he selects a woman for something that has no intrinsic value to his life, and the relationship ends. That's the only way. Those two criteria have to be met. But if a man selects a woman to take care of his plants every 2 weeks, and she does that even the first time for 2 weeks, and you never see her again, he's successful. Why? Because he actually got what he wanted from her. There's no settling in that. If you actually think about it. If you, as a man, actually get what you want out of this woman, how are you settling? Even if it's just sex, because sex, again, is just objectively. That's the reason why the men select these women, because she looks good, and objectively, she would serve a mean to satisfy him sexually. If he gets sex from her, he did not settle. You understand that? He did not settle. If the objective of the reason why he selected her was met, and it was fulfilled, he did not settle, no matter how short or long the relationship is. Period. It is more than likely, not saying that again, men cannot settle, because we can settle. Again, like I just explained. It's when you select a woman who doesn't give you anything that you want. I mean, she has stuff to offer, but not in regards to the things that you objectively would want from a woman. That it is not going to help you in your purpose. It's not going to satisfy any of your physical needs. It's not going to satisfy. She's not going to fill a spot in your life that gives you some satisfaction, right? That propels you forward, whatever the case may be, in the way that you see fit, not that she sees fit, that you see fit. We can't settle. Because every time that we select a woman, for whatever reason we select her for, and that it's fulfilled even one time, we are successful in the reason why we selected her. Automatically. This is just fundamental understanding, fundamental knowledge. This isn't something that you really have to think very hard about. A lot of women will say, well, I selected a man for, to pay my bills, this and that. Well, yeah, once again, women can do it objectively, but widely accepted and acknowledged is that women are looking for something of emotional value. They're looking for something that is long-term longevity. They don't like necessarily short visits. They don't like, a gig economy type relationship. Men, we're totally fine with that. That's the reason why the men are going SYSBM, because they can pay a chick for everything. They're fine with the gig economy, but women are not. They like to nest. You can't nest in gigs. This is the reason why they're always looking over their shoulder, because they think that someone's there, because they're constantly changing their environment. So it gives them no ability to feel comfortable. When a woman has to nest, she requires consistency in order to show her full ability and femininity. And even to its minuscule point, that is also true. So this is the reason why we run into a lot of the unstable women that we have now, is because they're constantly changing their environment, or their environment's constantly changing on them, and they're accepting that. That's just the truth of it. So she's constantly over scrutinization and creating toxic femininity as a result. This is the truth. This is what my eyes see. I know the story. I've seen it plenty of times. But once again, it is more likely that a woman will fail in settling. She is the one who creates the settling. Men, we objectively select the woman for what we need her for. And once that's accomplished, that's it. We are successful. I think I've talked about this once before, but I don't think it was the same. I think it's a little different. I made so many videos, it's kind of hard to keep up with what I've said a lot of times. But y'all know I'm pretty consistent, I guess, when it comes to my rhetoric and my philosophy. I really don't change too much. I add on to things definitely, and I redefine things. But as far as saying something's wrong or, saying something is inadequate, that's rare. It happens though. But this isn't the case. I'm doubling down on a video that I may have done before. That it is women who fail in settling. Men don't. If I wanted a chick to clean my house, and that's what I wanted her for, and maybe a little sex here and there, and she does that, whenever the relationship ends, even if she doesn't get what she wants out of a relationship, I got what I wanted, right? She's the one who settled because she, especially if she was the one who left the relationship, and she left the relationship because of whatever expectations she had of me. I'm pretty good about meeting agreed upon expectations, but I'm talking about the non-communicated ones, which I'll go over again. That's another topic I need to talk about it. Non-communicated expectations. That is a problem in the Black community, especially when it comes to male-female relationships. Non-communicated expectations. Don't nobody steal that. Jeez, I hear so much of my stuff on the internet, stuff that no one else has ever said. Nobody, again, has a monopoly on intellectual property in regards to stuff that is apparent in the observable universe. But geez, can I get a little credit here and there? I mean, I'm trying to help spread this knowledge as well. I mean, people will try to make bucks. I understand you, but geez, I mean, let's help each other, I guess. I don't know. I'm not selfish. I'll shout out the people who actually make and do the work, not for notoriety or fame, but for the enlightenment of our people. Those are the ones I support. Nonetheless, when it comes to, these topics, I hear them all the time on the internet, like I said, I'll make videos on these topics, the different stuff that I've talked about progressively as we go along. I like to go back and listen to my own videos, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. So that's kind of the reason why I'm also saying it here, and also let you all know that, there are more videos to come, of course. This train isn't stopping, all right? Even though I've been gone for, like a couple of months, I've been, just dibble dabbling up and loading a little few videos here and there. But anyway, let's get back to the rhetoric. It is the woman who fails. She's the only failure in what she wanted, even though, I met the criteria of what we agreed upon that I was going to do. If she is the one who feels unfulfilled, then it falls on her. It has nothing to do with her. Me, the only time I fail in settling for a woman is if I, once again, purposely get a woman who I know isn't going to do any of the shit that I need her to do. Then I settle. That's true. I mean, who is going to argue with me on this? Please, go right ahead and make your follow-up video. I doubt it's going to make any sense if you do, because it's true of what I say. That women are the only ones who are more than likely to fail out of majority of relationships because their expectations are not met. Because their ability to discern men sucks. That's just the truth. There's nothing bad on them. It's just that they never really had that ability. This is the reason why the father selected the men, because women never had that ability. It wasn't because it was sexist or, it was something wrong. A lot of women would say, oh yeah, for a father select, the husband of the daughter, that means that, she can't choose her own mate. It's because she sucks at it. I mean, really look around you. Look at the failure rate of women choosing. They don't know what the hell they're doing. This is the reason why men used to do it. But since y'all want to choose, men will keep selecting you for what they need you for, and it'll be a temporary gig job, and you'll be constantly on guard and damaged after every iteration that you go through, where a man selects you for what he needs you for, uses you, and then sends you on to the next one. If that's the life you want to live, by all means, this is a free country, especially if you're in America. Do what you want. I'm not here to tell you any different, but do understand the consequences of your choices and blame no one else for you settling. But anyways, like, comment, and share. Definitely check me out on my different platforms. I haven't uploaded much to those things, but there are videos there that you can enjoy and share if you like. But until next time, this has been the Wolf of Better Clothes. May you have a good day. And of course, as you know it, you should know. Peace be with you.